Hi, welcome to Cooking for Busy People. I'm Dawn Hall. It's great to be with you. I've got great meals made today. We're going to make sauerkraut and pork and apple pandowdy, which I didn't even know what apple pandowdy was, but I was in my home state of Indiana and someone said, have you ever made apple pandowdy? And they told me what was in it, and I thought, I think I can make this fast and easy and low fat. You're going to love it. And I start out with Pillsbury buttermilk biscuits. And you're thinking, you can eat biscuits in low fat and fast and easy? Yes, you can. God is so good. These only have 2 grams of fat. Isn't that wonderful? And look at this, 150 calories. That's for 3 biscuits. So you're going to love this. And then we're going to make some, over here, twice-baked mashed potatoes, homemade from scratch. Okay, I'm a little ornery today. What can I say? Hey, talking about ornery, did you hear about the Pillsbury Doughboy? Get the Kleenex out. He died. He did. Constant pokes and prods to the belly. Oh, and a yeast infection, too. I told you I was in an ornery mood. Just bear with me. Did you know that he was married? Yeah. He was married to Play-Doh. And they had one in the oven. That was sad. I know, it was really bad, isn't it? And last but not least, the people that spoke at his eulogy were the California Raisins, Mrs. Butterworth, and they thought, at the very end, they thought he was going to live, but he didn't. He did die. He was not able to turn over. Stay with us. We're going to have a great show, full of fun. Stay with me. We're making apple pandowdy next, okay? And sauerkraut and pork. We'll see you soon. Stick with me. We'll make apple pandowdy next. Just need a 9-inch square glass pan. We're going to put apple pie filling in, okay? 1 21-ounce can of apple pie filling. Now, some of you are probably thinking, you're kidding me, you can eat this stuff and it's not fattening. And this whole recipe per serving is only going to have 151 calories for the entire meal. That's including the sauerkraut and pork and the mashed potatoes. The entire meal per serving is not going to have more than 400 calories. So we just simply spread this out. Now, of course, the original Amish recipe of apple pandowdy, they started all from scratch. But this saves me measuring and cutting up all the ingredients I would need with the apples and the cornstarch to make the sauce. So just another one of my little secrets. Then we're going to take the biscuits, and we're only going to use 9 of the biscuits, okay? We'll discard one of them. Or if you want to, you can just go ahead and bake it. If you're going to, you might want to make some extras. Let me set that there. We're going to stick the biscuits on top of the pie filling. Okay? Now, this is a great twist between kind of like a cobbler and a pie. Okay, and we have the extra one, and we'll just set that aside. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to mix a 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar. The reason why I chose dark brown sugar, it gives more flavor and more of a molasses flavor than the light brown, okay? By the way, light brown does not have any less calories than the dark brown. A lot of people think because it's light, it has less calories. It's not. Then we're going to have 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. And that's a whole tablespoon, which these little shakers can take quite a while. Lord, I pray that we can get this cinnamon out before the end of the show. There we go. And talking about prayer, don't you kind of wonder, what is prayer? Prayer is communicating with God. That's all it is, talking and listening. But a lot of times we're too busy talking, we don't take time to listen, okay? So I want to encourage you to take time to pray on a daily basis. 1 tablespoon of butter bud sprinkles. These come in the spice section. Very easy. If you're not used to using them, don't be afraid of them, okay? They're very flavorful, strong butter flavor without all the fats and calories. Do I like them by myself on a baked potato? No. But do they taste delicious in my recipes? Absolutely, positively, yes. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. I love ground cloves. Let me give you a little secret, okay? When you're making, or you have company coming over or something, just flatten it out. If you want to, you could use a knife and flatten straight across. If you don't have potpourri at home and you want your house to smell good for company, just put a little ground cloves and cinnamon on a cookie sheet, pop it in the oven at 350, and within a few minutes, the whole house smells wonderful. Thought this was just a cooking show, huh? It's so much more than just a cooking show. Hey, I was telling you about prayer earlier. You know, you can pray anytime, anywhere. You do not have to have your eyes closed to be praying. Anytime, anywhere. How many of you think that prayer should be in schools? Well, I agree with you. I think prayer in schools would be a great thing. But in all honesty, I really don't think it's our school's responsibility to be praying. How many of you pray with your children before they go to school? As their parents, it's really our responsibility to be praying with them. It would be great if they had prayer in school. I'm all for it. But let's make sure we practice what we preach at home before we start getting upset with the schools, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply sprinkle this over the biscuits. I'm going to save a little bit of this for later. Let's put this in the oven at 425 degrees for only 10 minutes. Then I'm going to take it out of the oven, turn the biscuits over, and sprinkle a little bit more of this mixture on top, and then I'll bake it for another 5 to 8 minutes. It's only 151 calories. Can you believe it? Was that fast and easy or what? Come on over here to the oven with me. I already have it preheated. And we'll set our little timer. And when you put things in the oven, it's very important to make sure that the pans don't touch the side of the oven. A lot of times your items are burning, and the reason why is you have your pans touching the side of the oven. You can't do that, okay? Let's scoot this right on. By the way, all the recipes are from the Busy People's Cookbooks. All you have to do is call the number on your screen. Now, what we're going to make is sauerkraut and pork. And the sauerkraut and pork we're going to make in the crock pot. And the crock pot is one of my favorite best friends because I can make it fast and easy, throw things in here all together. I like the crock pots that have the containers come out, which is really great if you're going to a potluck or buffet. I spray it with non-fat cooking spray simply for the ease of cleaning. Okay? Now I have my pork tenderloin in the refrigerator. You're thinking, you can eat real pork and do low fat? Yes, you can. God is so good. The pork tenderloin is the leanest cut of the pork. Of a beef, it would be called filet mignon, but in pork, we call it pork tenderloin. We need a 1.5 pound pork tenderloin steak. Now this is a little bit more than that. I would say it's about 2 pounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off a 1/2 pound of it, set aside for later. And let me get a plate for this. There we go. And I'm going to cut the pork tenderloin into 8 1-inch steaks. Okay. Now this, you can see it comes in 2 pieces, so let's see, 4 and 4. There we go. Easy way to do 4 and 4. Cut it in half in the middle, and then in half again. Now see, this one's a little bit smaller though, so I'm going to keep that a little bit. There you go, a little bit more on the end there. Now, to eat healthy, low-fat, eat little bits all day long, protein the size of your palm, which would be, look, if you flatten that out, it's about the size of your palm without your fingers. And then carbohydrates the size of your fist. We'll put the pork steaks right into the crock pot. And then we're going to take 1 16-ounce bag of fresh whole baby carrots. Now, the reason why I'm using fresh whole baby carrots is because I do not want to have to peel the carrots, cut the carrots. It saves me time. Yes, I'm paying probably twice as much, but I feel it's worth it. We're going to use a 1/2 cup of frozen chopped onion. Why am I using the frozen onions? I don't want my mascara to run. I don't want to have to worry about my hands smelling like onions. We're going to use a 14-ounce can of sauerkraut. Do not drain, okay? Do not drain. Now the next ingredients are my secret. I have taken 2 medium Granny Smith apples. I chopped them into tiny pieces. The apples are going to make the sauerkraut not sour and not tart. And it's just going to take away that, ooh, you know how that sometimes you eat sauerkraut and it's like, ooh, and then 1 tablespoon of packed brown sugar. I'm going to use my most very favorite tools. What have I told you before? I feel like God gave us the best tools are our hands for cooking. Just enough to stir it together, to blend it together, and then we're going to simply put it in top on the crock pot all together. And We will cook it in the crock pot. You can either cook it on high or on low.